Okay, and now we are live. O, di ba? May audio na kami. Wait. Pang-intro
Okay.
lang yan. So, how are you guys doing? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. If you're not still joining us, please do so. We have a wonderful and a very special guest for today. By the way, before we move on, I would like to introduce myself. Although you can all read who is speaking right now, this is Dolores, and I am the administrator of this community, the Philippine Home-based Virtual Assistants community. And today we have a very wonderful person that we have invited to be a guest for our um, podcast sana, pero it's not a podcast it's still FB Live. Eventually, there will be podcast coming in, but for now, we are promoting our partners in the community because this is what we think is that sets us apart from the rest of the community, if I'm not wrong. Sana hindi ako mali doon. Anyways, you know for a fact that the expo is upcoming and that will be on February 29th. And one of the partners that we have invited, and I'm very thankful that they have agreed to be a part of this expo, the event that we're going to have on Feb 29th, is Scale Experts. And the reason that we have invited them today to do this live is because we want to let you know, we want to inform you, we want to educate you who is wait a minute. Where did Miss Pam go? Miss Pam, I lost you. So before that, let's just wait for Miss Pam. I know she's just there. So Scale Expert is one of the partners that we have invited, and I want everybody to understand who is Scale Experts, and that's the reason why we have our wonderful guest today. Without any further ado, I want her to speak for herself and introduce who she is and who they are. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Miss Pam Baluyo of Scale Experts. Good morning, Miss Pam.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to those VAs who wanted to make their mark in this wonderful industry.
Yes, certainly that's a wonderful opening to make a mark. So that's why the title of our FB Live today is "Can you be an expert as a VA?" Because of
Mhm.
course your name is Scale Experts. So
Yes,
with that, Miss Pam, can you please give us or enlighten us, give us a little or short backgrounder of who is Scale Experts and what do you do?
absolutely. Scale Experts is an innovative business process solutions company. We're currently specializing in virtual assistant services, particularly for the recruiting industry, recruitment agents industry. And we also do customer service and content moderation for a dating site. And then we also do lead generation and data entries. So our focus market is helping out small and medium enterprises to scale their business for a better profit. So we wanted to provide this impeccable uh, service support to companies who wanted to have freedom from the mundane tasks that they're doing, and we wanted to provide them or have them execute cost-effective solutions to scale their businesses further. So that's it.
Wow. Wow, that is not just that's it. That is
That's
something.
it.
That is something that I hope everybody has understood what you are
Mhm,
doing. And
mhm,
this is the reason why we are very eager to promote and to inform the public, especially those who are aspiring and experienced professionals, on how
mhm.
you can really become a VA. So from that what you have explained to us, the skill sets are very, I mean, it's a challenge for you if you have that skill sets, right? If you want to be a
Yes,
part of
yes.
Scale Expert. So we're going to discuss that. The next question that I have in mind or that I want to ask you is, why do you think the professional people or office based people are trying to switch on doing the home based or becoming a VA? Why do you think they're into that right now?
Well, to tell you honestly, whenever someone is being asked what is a VA, or if you ask someone what is a VA, the very first thing that comes into their mind is that, oh, this one is a work from home job.
Mm-hmm.
So when Scale Experts started out in 2018, we actually transitioned from our mother company, or from an older company with whom I had a partner with. Unfortunately, my business partner died in 2016. So at that time, we are actually doing office-based VAs, virtual
Okay.
assistants. So whenever I interview people at that time, just to give you a little background, they always like say, "Oh, is it a work from home job?" So the notion of being a VA is that you're gonna work from home. And
Mm-hmm.
at first we say, no, it's not. It has to be office space. You'll be working at the office. However, we had VAs. We had VAs working from home, and they had trouble. They had really had trouble transitioning to office space because they were comfortable. And then the problems that I encounter in having an office based environment is that people will have excuses for being late at work, or having problems taking care of their daughters or their kids, or their parents. And it's not something that I felt that it's not something that you can, or you have to do the whole day. You can actually like check on them from time to time, but can still work. So when I decided to revamp the company, renamed it, changed the whole set of people who are investing in the company, and then I picked out the people who are willing to give this a chance. So I had everything. I had all the operations team work from home, and then just retained the smallest team, the HR and admin team, to have an office so that we can deal with the usual government institutions and the requirements that goes along with putting up a business. And I could proudly say that it was successful. So I guess the reason why people are switching to becoming a VA, because you the convenience of you being able to switch from your personal life to your professional life and balance it out, without having to stress through traffic, without having to stress to the other things that you have to worry about while going to the office. That's the reason why a lot of people are switching to VA. And I could say, um, the why we have a low attrition is because people are really happy working from home, being able to take care of their personal stuff while working. They can have that certain flexibility that they can do more because they're working from home. So imagine, removing 2 3 hours of traveling from your time so that you can spend that more in doing the stuff that you want to, and being able to maximize your time with your loved ones. I think that's the number one reason why people are so attracted to switching to become a VA.
The real work-life balance is really
Yes,
here.
yes. It is here. It is here. And even
Exactly.
I wanted that. It just so happened that I now live 5 minutes away from my office. So this is my
That's
second home. I actually made my office as a second home. Doesn't look like a call center at home. It looks like a home away from home.
Yeah, that's still, but still, 5 minutes is just 5 minutes rather than,
Exactly, exactly.
taking too much of your time. So that is
Yeah.
something that most of the people, especially the aspiring and or aspirant VAs who wants to start their career as a VA, and
Hmm.
basically the professional ones, they're the dealing with a lot of anxiousness. Am I going to start this career? Maybe the feeling that they have is because they have no idea at all. That's why we are here, helping you understand clearly what is it that you are going to step in, what is this career all about. And
Yeah.
if you hesitate and you have a lot of questions, don't hesitate to ask, because at the end of the day we aim to really help you out, and we want to give you the clarity of what you're really looking for. And the nice information there that we have received from Miss Pam: why do people try to switch from an office based to becoming a home based professional? I always
Mm.
say home based professional because really this is a career, right? Would you agree
It
on that?
is.
So
It
take that as something. If you want to start a career from home, you are still a professional individual working with clients. Okay.
That's right.
So
Mm.
our next question is: how do you evaluate candidates who are applying to your agency? What are your processes?
Most of our candidates apply through our portal page in Facebook. So that's www.facebook.com/skill experts. So we actually invite people there, especially when we post jobs, we post it there, and then they can send their emails at careers@theskillexperts.com. So they will receive some sort of a welcome packet and an evaluation of their skills. A it's not an examination. Most people think and it's an examination, but it's more of like evaluating where you are good at. So there would be some questions regarding your comprehension skills. At the same time, you will be asked whether you know or you can identify doing these processes. So we're looking for people who are really good in Google, Google Apps, not Googling, if you know what I mean.
Researching.
Research skills, yeah, that's one skill, but not
Yeah.
all of it because people are so good at researching, but when they are asked to do Google Apps like Google Sheets, Google Word presentation, online updating, they're at a loss already. So
Yes,
I
yes.
didn't know Google has this. So
Exactly.
yeah, they
You
thought
know,
when you say, "Are you good at Google?"
it's just
They
researching
it's
and
just researching. It's
keywords.
more than that. Exactly. We the company that we have right now is Google intensive. We're using
Hmm.
sites google.com for our
Yeah, yeah.
internal employee portal.
It's
So everyone
your
who
in
needs to
intranet.
exactly. We have our own intranet because of Google. We are very heavy users of Google Sheets. So and even customers, clients are using Google Sheets. So
Hmm.
that's one thing that we're looking for. People must know how to use Google, the Google apps. So we
Yes.
also look into comprehension skills. How good are they at critical thinking? How are they going to identify certain scenarios? How are they going to react to it or deal with it? So we look into those kinds of candidates. And then depending on the account, because there are some clients who just wanted to meet their VA and that's it, whether they like it or not, or they may encounter clients who would still give sample tests. So I cannot post something that this is a 1 day hiring process. No, it's not because our clients are the ones who will decide whether they'll take you in. For our team based accounts, we actually have team based accounts. That's a different process. It's
Yes.
like going through the usual BPO process. We can actually hire in 1 day. However, it's like going through the call center experience, except that you're working from home. So we have
This is
two
for your
major accounts.
internal staff.
Internal staff. We actually have two accounts for that, and I have a wonderful team of 11, and the other one is a wonderful team of six, seven actually, but we lost one. Uh, so there, and I hope that we'll grow that soon. We're supposed to, but because of coronavirus, we had to postpone every transaction. But anyways, aside from that, that's how we evaluate our
Okay.
candidates.
Thank you for emphasizing that, because I think it's very important for people to know, especially those who are really aiming to start their career from home, to
Mhm.
understand the processes that you have to go through when you're applying. Because I feel like most of the time that I am the admin of this community, and I can see a lot of rants or whatsoever, as if they're entitled to being contacted once they apply for a position or whatever or whatnot. But the thing is,
Mhm.
they do not really have the clear understanding of the processes. So I hope, guys, you are listening to this and taking note of it, because this is a very important guide or tips for you, so that you also have an idea what to expect whenever you apply for a certain position, and make sure it's something that you fit into. It's not something that, oh, I just want to submit my resume and that's, I'll expect for a call by tomorrow. It's not like that,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
be intelligent in doing some actions and be smart, okay? Our next question for Miss Pam is, what do you think of the candidates who do not follow instructions, and how do you think you can encourage them to improve their ways?
That's a very, very good question because that's the predicament or that's the challenge that we're experiencing from candidates lately. Um, I had this one experience that we're looking for someone who is good at LinkedIn profiling or LinkedIn lead generation. And the very first question that she asked is, "What is LinkedIn?" And
Very good.
that was like, yeah, it was
You're
really,
in.
yeah, it was really like I was mind blown.
I know,
Like,
I know.
yeah, so because you're applying for something you do not know. Um, so that's the one bad part. And the other part is that,
It's funny.
yeah, yeah, you have to,
I cannot
we
fathom that.
yeah, yeah, I know. It's the funniest thing ever. Every time I always remember that because it was like, what? And then I know. And then there are some candidates that we actually put in some instructions in our evaluation sheet that you have to like reply to me with this tagline and
Code
blah blah blah
name
blah
or
blah, or send in with a color. And those are the times that we actually catch them. Some candidates would complain, ang hirap naman pumasok dito, but they didn't realize that that's exactly what we're looking for. VAs are supposed to be keen on details, small details like this, because one wrong mistake that you do, and the client can immediately say, "You're not good enough for me." And I think that's one of the things that VAs tend to forget, that they thought that it's okay to just go ahead. I will apply for skill experts, and I will just say, "Oh, I can work long hours," but not realizing that, oh my God, I'm going into this client who really wants me to work long hours, and I can't do
Mhm.
that. So there's a certain, level of commitment that they lost there, and then they are asked to do their daily reports. They're not doing their daily reports simply because they thought, it's not that important. So I need people who are looking into the small details to know that they they need to practice this. And it's actually part of the critical thinking analysis that you look into the small details in order for you to improve as a VA. One thing that I can encourage candidates, VAs, aspiring VAs rather, is they practice critical thinking. They have to start asking more than just the what will I do, but ask them why they need to do it. And if they're too shy to ask for how they're gonna do it, because I know Filipinos are like that. They tend to like say yes sir, yes ma'am, but not really understanding what the instruction is all about. So if they can't really understand, they're too shy to ask that. That's the time that you use your Google. That's the time you
Mm,
use Google is. That's the time Google is your best friend.
correct.
So um, they would like double check on the instructions, and if they need to translate to Tagalog, do that. I mean, because I think one of the reasons why people are having instructional issues, if I would say it that way, is because people or candidates had trouble comprehending exactly what the instruction is. And it's not shameful to actually translate it into Tagalog and see what the difference is, and then understand it and then translate back to English. And then in the course of your being a VA, practice the typing while thinking while talking. That's the three T's, I call that. So
The
that you
multitasking thing.
yeah, so it's a multitasking thing, thinking while talking while typing, so that they will they, and then always process the thought patterns in English if you're going to talk to someone in English all the time. Like if you have a client If you have a client who is an American or British or someone who speaks English, I think it's best for you to talk and think and type in English, converse everyone in English, and then, you know, work on it. You know, everything you have to put first in English and then before doing anything else. I think that would help them comprehend better so that they can follow instructions better.
I like what you're pointing out because basically this is a major problem for us in the community alone. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
there are posts that are being approved, for example, you have a job posting. That's why we turned off the commenting section because we
Yes.
want people to understand. Come on, guys, everything that you need to know is already there. And why are you sending questions such as how? So it's just
Mhm.
showing your inability to understand instructions. So that's already a big turn off for you. So I really do hope now, guys who are the member of the community and elsewhere, take note of what the importance of reading and understanding. It goes together. It's not just reading and then after what you have read, you didn't understand anything. So it goes together. You read and you understand. So, Miss Pam. Okay, Miss Pam's video is not working. Okay, there you're back. All right, so there you go. Our next question is, well, basically you've already topped this number five. I think we can jump into number six because you've already dealt it with number four.
Mhm.
Are there any particular tools or skills that you require from all of the candidates who apply to scale experts or with scale experts?
Well, aside from being good at Google Apps, Google Mail, Google Mail, Google Apps, Google Sheets, everything Google.
Google Docs.
Yeah, Google,
What
everything
else?
Google. They
Google
also need
Google
to.
PowerPoint. There's a
Yes,
PowerPoint. Maybe
Google
they wouldn't.
PowerPoint. Yeah, they have everything. Yeah, everything Google. I would also want them to know the ins and outs of LinkedIn. If they
Mm-hmm.
don't know what LinkedIn is, do not apply.
You heard that.
So
You
sorry.
heard that from
I am
Miss
so
Pam.
sorry. I am so sorry for those. I mean, I know that was hilarious, but
Yeah, it
I
is.
it's a good thing I forgot the name of that person who said
And we
what.
will not mention her name.
We will not mention names, but I think he or she would have learned the lesson very
Yeah.
hard. But I mean, you have to know the ins and outs of LinkedIn, how LinkedIn works, how
Yes.
the sales navigator works, or recruiter
Yes.
works. If
Yes.
you don't know, again, go back to Google. Be a ninja in
Yeah.
researching and learn how to do this. Um, there are some particular tasks that our current roster of clients require us to have is that at least you know something about the recruitment industry in the US.
Mm.
If you're planning to become a recruitment lead specialist for a VA, the official title for our VAs is that first they know how to do LinkedIn, they know how to use a VPN, or at least know what a VPN or how a VPN works. That's virtual private networking. They know how to use Google Apps. Of course, we would love if VAs also know how to troubleshoot their own computers. But we
Yes.
do have our friendly IT specialist here at the office who would be more than willing to do Team Viewer for you and fix your computer if we need to.
Wow.
And
Team viewer.
yeah, we have Team Viewer. Yes, exactly. Our
If you're just for everybody's info, team viewer will not really work good if your laptop is not at least on the current one or at least core i5. If you're using a very low specs with your computer, then if
yeah.
you team viewer, the more that it will bring problem to your computer. So that's why we are requiring at least a minimum type of specs, right, for computers.
That's
That's
right.
why it's
That's
very
right.
important for that. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for that, Miss Pam. So I hope everybody is listening to this and giving high value on what you're hearing because
Mm-hmm.
we're sharing inputs here that are not just we're not just making chica. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
these are the meat already that you need to understand. Oh, okay, so that is how a VA work. Yes, that is how we
Mm-hmm.
work. We always have to make sure that we are doing it correctly. Although there are times that we make mistakes, we
Mhm,
accept it and we rectify it immediately because we're humans.
mhm,
We
that's right.
cannot say that we cannot do mistakes, but at least you have to own it and improve it. Okay,
Mhm,
make it better the next time.
that's right.
Now, moving forward, what do you think candidates must have in order to become successful in applying through agencies similar to yours?
That's a very good question. I think what they need to have or they need to possess is an attitude of openness. Um, they have one thing that I keep on telling candidates who are already in my team. I call them my experts. In order for you to become an expert here, you have to have that attitude of openness, that you're open to learn new things. You're open that this is not a call center. This is if you have a call center experience but you do not have a VA experience yet, you have to undo some things that you learned from being a call center agent, because this time you'll be interacting with the client themselves. This is not a customer that if you don't like talking, you can just drop the call or do a ninja move of not talking to this person anymore. But the this time you have to understand that your client is the one that's giving you the job, not not just the agency. Because if
Yes.
you think that the agency is the one giving you the job, that's the wrong impression. You have to first and foremost think that the client is your employer. Even though you're connected with scale experts or you're connected with any other agency, because if you lose this client, you lose your job. That's
Yes.
the one thing that they have to understand. And while your skills may be bankable enough for the agency to keep you, um, it's still it's still a challenge, because you will go back to the process of being selected by the next client. So it is
Yeah.
something that um in my case, I keep agents who I know that, oh, if I keep this one, find her another client, I'll be able to give
Vouch.
her to, yeah, switch her or vouch for this person. So it's really important that you keep your integrity as well. So
Yes.
um, you have you uh, make sure that you keep on learning, so that the company will also recognize that you are a valuable asset and they will not just let you go just like that. I'm not saying for
Exactly.
those that we have let go, I mean, for those that I have let go, doesn't mean that they are not good enough. It's either they went on to become find their own place under the sun, or maybe they just need to improve on the skills that they currently have. So it's a matter of it's a matter of I think it's also the right attitude that they must possess before being before applying through the agencies similar to us, that they have that kind of attitude of openness, that I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to accept first whatever is in store for me on that company, and then take it from there. So there.
I think that's the name of the game. And
Yeah.
also, you have to also consider that you have to add here patience, because
Hmm.
even if you were hired by the agencies that you have applied for, you still have to wait for the right client that will fit your profile. And sometimes you have to wait for the right candidate as well.
I lost her. I hope Dolores is okay.
We are back. Sorry about that. It's kind of raining. This is a
That's
challenge
okay.
for us. Oh my goodness. I hate this internet and connectivity right now because they're changing from, I believe, they're upgrading, but the thing is they're upgrading and losing a lot of customers. Anyways,
Uh,
we have some comments that I would like to read. All right. Oh, it's not a comment. It's more of a following through what your tips or what you have mentioned earlier. So let's go on and move on. Number
mhm.
8. Do you see a growth in this industry 3 or 5 years from now?
Well, in this industry itself, yes, there is still growth because they can't really totally remove human interaction in virtual assistants. I know that there are what they call virtual assistants, but they're actually AI. So
Yeah.
while it's good that they have I mean, I have my own AI. I have Alexa, and whenever I'm lonely, I'll just call Alexa, give me, sing me a song and
Make me
stuff like
happy.
that. Yeah, make me happy and stuff like that. And I know it's taking hold of some households, but then there's still I can see that the industry will still grow. Human intervention is still very important, and while tasks may be simpler, there will be new tasks that will be um, taken over by virtual assistants. What I do see, however, is that there is a need for more technical VAs. So I believe now is the time for virtual assistants, or those who are already virtual assistants, and even in the call center industry, those who are BPO specialists, that they start upgrading their skills. This is the right time because in 2, 3 years from now, the VAs are going to be more technical. They need to be more adaptive to the changes that the technology will bring us. So before we don't have these automatic social media sites. You have to do everything manually, post your different content manually on each of the social media sites. And now you have schedulers that all you need to do is
Yeah.
just like tap it, schedule it, and that's it. So that eases the time of the virtual assistants and actually is a threat when the client just needs less time of you and more time from automation. And on a
Yes.
personal experience, that exactly how it hit us with VKW then, because half of my team was replaced by automation.
And
So
that's so sad, right?
yeah, it was
We don't
really a
want to
blow.
be Yeah, we don't want to be replaced by automations or robot for that matter.
Yes, and honestly speaking, that hit us hard in 2016, 2017. Yeah, 2017 actually. That it hit us hard because it was a migration of the systems, and then it became automated. We need less people now to answer calls because there are canned responses. And even in one of our accounts, they're now going to do away with phones because people are now connecting via chat or via email, and then we have
Hmm.
chatbots. So it's quite challenging, but then I think because people still know that I'm not really talking to a real person, I need a concrete answer. I need the
I need
emotional.
someone with feelings.
Yeah, I know someone with feelings. So I think the
Yeah.
VAs will stay. However, again, as I mentioned, um, while I see the growth in the industry for the next 3 to 5 years, there is also a need for us, for those in this industry, to actually grow and upgrade our skills, so we'll be ready when that time comes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
It's well noted and well taken. Guys, you don't want to be replaced by a robot, right? So you have to really
Yeah.
upscale yourself. So
Yes.
always think about it. Learning is not, you should not stop learning, really. So this is the world where we have to be knowledgeable. Maybe it's not everything, but at least a basic of this, you know, a basic of this. And then eventually you can grow from that. You can start evolving, or, you know, increasing the knowledge from that. You start from the basic, understand what this is, like understanding what LinkedIn is. That's a big blow for me.
Yeah.
Word for the day, LinkedIn.
Yes.
I won't forget that, Miss Pam.
Yes. Yes.
Anyways, and you don't want us laughing about you not knowing
I know,
LinkedIn.
I
So,
know.
guys,
I,
yeah,
I'm no longer gonna say who I mean, I don't know that person, and it's a good thing.
yes,
I don't even remember the
yeah,
person's name, whether he's a female or male. But that really struck me. Like, what is LinkedIn for?
yes,
Like,
exactly.
okay,
And then you demand for a reply, right? So, guys, this
yeah.
is something that you really have to look into, assess yourself. How knowledgeable are you about things that's going around? Don't just focus yourself using your phone by Facebook, posting your own personal things. That's not social media. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, that is not it. All right. So the next one, what if someone does not have a VA? Oh, now leading to this, does not have a VA experience, but what do you think they should need, or they should do in order for them to keep up with the competition?
Well, for those who wanted to have a VA job, or for those who are aspiring to become a VA or a freelancer for that matter, first of all, you have to have your skills that you need. I mean, in this kind of industry, people thought that they can just apply whether they're newbies, and people who are saying that, oh, I came from the call center industry, I have 10 years plus experience, blah, blah, blah. But then you're the type of person who will only learn once you're being fed into it. Like, ikaw yung tipo ng tao na you have to be trained first before you can learn. So I think that's something that you have to again undo, and you have to start learning from yourself for yourself. So being a VA means you have to be self-reliant. You have to
Initiative.
have the initiative to learn on your own. There are a lot of YouTube videos. There are a lot of um, items or documents or links online that you can learn. And to tell you frankly, for everyone who is listening right now, when I started this company in 2011, when I started putting up a VA company in 2011, I have no idea how a virtual assistant really works. I thought it was the same as putting up a BPO company, but it wasn't. So I realized, oh, okay, so you need to have specific skills in order to fulfill a client's need. So, first of all, you have to first identify what is the need of the client, and then you have to align that with the need, with the skills that you have. If you don't have that skill, learn it. I
Yes,
think one of the tips that I could give to aspiring VAs is that whenever there's a job posting online, and then they enumerate all the skills that they're looking for in a VA. Let's say they have 10 skills listed there. The task listed there is like 10, and you cannot, if you cannot, or if you answered no to half of it, do not apply. Do not apply it.
exactly.
Because if you're going
Emphasize
to
on that.
apply, yes, do not
Don't
apply.
apply.
And yeah, if you cannot answer yes to all of the tasks, or if you cannot answer to 75% of that and as a yes, do not apply yet. Why?
Yes,
Because you'll just give a disservice to the client, to the service agency, and to yourself. You're gonna unless you're really a go-getter, um you're really a ninja, for
yeah.
that matter. I'm a huge fan of Naruto. Just to let everyone know, I'm a huge fan of Naruto,
I'm sure
and
my daughters will love you.
yeah,
You said the
because
magic word.
the mindset of Naruto is that he is a dunce. He is a dunce. He's really like Bobo in terms of his ninja skills, but he was relentless in learning it, and
Mm,
he's a go-getter. And if we have that same mindset as that of Naruto, then we will be able to accomplish it. And actually, he has a certain intelligence in doing that. Then I realized, yeah, in the course of his in a course of his adversity, na-realize niya, oh, ito pala. He knows how to look at a different angle. And I think that's
Yeah,
one of
the
the
most
experiences that, yeah, the skills that one of our VAs should have. If he can't figure out the issue, look at it at a different angle and see, oh, okay, now I can see what the problem is, and I think I can figure it out. There you go.
we have to learn that we are not a know-it-all,
Yeah.
and let's also leave behind the ego,
Hmm.
like what Miss Pam was mentioning a while ago. If you came from a call center, you have 10, 15, 20 years experience, that is not something that you can really vouch for. I mean,
Exactly.
you can, it's maybe something that it's an edge, but it's not something that can bring you the bacon. You cannot bring home the bacon just because you have that kind of an experience.
That's right.
Your ego alone, you should really remove that. I mean, you humble yourself because this is a new beginning, a new journey for you, a lot of things that you need to add into your skills. You just have to say, yes, I need to learn this, I need to accept this. Miss Pam, that's why we, not to promote, but to let you know, I know basically you have an understanding that we offer a basic learning of how to become a VA. And
Mhm.
that is the reason why we are doing that here in this community, because of the fact that I may not be an expert of something, but at least the mindset of you before starting to apply to companies or agencies like yours, at least you have an idea what you should be expecting of yourself.
Yeah.
How do you even manage expectations like LinkedIn? If you have no idea about LinkedIn, come on, it's really a shameful thing for you to apply for a position that requires LinkedIn tasks, and then you have no
Yeah.
idea what LinkedIn is all about. So that is where I come in, at least
Hmm.
giving you a guidance of this is what this is what a CRM is, this is just giving you the snippet of what you should be. Okay, now it's your decision if you want to
Hmm.
push through as a VA or not at all. If you feel like
Hmm.
you're not the Naruto type, then stop. Because at the end of the day, you really need a lot of skills, hard skills and soft skills to be combined together, not just the hard
True.
skills
True.
alone.
Yeah.
So if you're not even knowledgeable about what soft skills is or are, my goodness, let's go to Google. Search what's
Google is my best friend. There you go.
right. What is a hard skill and what is a soft skill? So Google
That's
it,
right.
guys. All right. The number 10th question that we have here is, which is important to you, attitude or skills, and why?
Hmm. Quite quite challenging because honestly speaking, I just want to clarify that I had um agents who
Past
have
tense.
attitudes. Yeah. Wala na sila eh. I had people who had attitude. Um, maangas or mayabang or like
Kaya
difficult
ko
to work
yan.
with. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
However, they have exceptional skills. So as long
Marami niyan
as they
dito.
deliver, for me, yeah, for me, I think for me, as long as you deliver the results, even though you acted like an asshole to some of your colleagues, as long as you deliver the results and you deliver the skill set that the client wants, then that's okay with me. However, here at Scale Experts, we want you to have a balance of both. So definitely, I'll be looking for skills first. I don't care if you are a princess in your previous life. As long as you have that skills, I want you, and I will pay for it. Eventually, however, I need you to saw off your horns and sandpaper it because you need to have dependence. It's also important for me for that person to have interdependence on others as well because we work here as a team. One thing that we are banking to our clients is that you're not hiring one person, you're hiring a team, you're hiring a team of experts who will help you scale your business further. That's how we uh, market our business. So in order for us to do that, we have to have a team, a basketball team, not, you know, for maybe bless his soul, Kobe Bryant. We're not just LeBron James and Kobe Bryant only. It's the LA Lakers, if you know what I mean. So
Yes.
that's how I present the team. It's not going to be Kobe Bryant. It's not going to be LeBron James. It's going to be the whole team. So just the same. So they have the skills. I primarily hire people first for skills, and that can go on that I will just rely on your skills and not your attitude. But eventually, the attitude will have to be curbed or will have to be enhanced to become part of the team. So there.
That's good. Do you also agree that most of the problems that we also encounter is that they feel like if they're receiving this amount of money already, or the monetary, the salary from this
Mhm.
previous work that they have had, and they will now enter the VA world and expecting that they should be receiving more or even double whatever they're receiving before. Is that something that you also experience? How do you deal with that kind of people? And talking about the skills, if they do not even have the skills, how do you manage them?
Yeah.
These are the ego people, egoistic people.
You know what? I had similar experiences. People are asking for high salaries, and then I will
Yeah,
ask, what can you deliver? How will you be able to deliver this? Because if you're
yeah,
going to ask me for a high salary and then the client will just complain about you, then you don't deserve that type of salary, because what I'm after is the skills. So eventually, I actually had people who would tell me, sige, just give me another client kahit mas mababa na lang yung pasweldo mo sa akin basta hindi na mahirap. Oh, akala ko ba you thought you wanted this kind of client. Yung pala hindi mo pala siya kaya. Kasi yun nga,
mm,
they thought um, because they have the skills, they have to be compensated based on the skills. So
yeah,
when I tell them how a VA works, and then you have to be reliant, and then don't expect me to, like, spoon feed you for every task that the client wants you to do. Doon nila I give them the room for self realization and realize na, oops, I've been too mayabang for it, and then they would ask me,
yeah,
um, for that case, whenever some people are be asking for that skills, I will check them. I will check with them, evaluate the skills that they have versus and then I will ask them to do a sample task first. Actually, that's one of
yes,
the things that we do. We do a sample task, and then
yeah,
if they can't do the sample task well, I tell them, frankly, I thought you know this, but it's not. This is something that a rookie can do. So they don't even realize. And then I will ask them, are you still willing to go through this? Because the rewards, one thing that I think I am telling my team all about it is the rewards of having or being part of this team, this company, is not monetary. It's actually more than that, because the ability for you to balance your work, the ability for you to be able to be flexible, the ability that you can security of tenure without having to worry about, where to get your money for because we have healthcare. And then we have our SSS, we have our PhilHealth, we have contributions. So they can actually, like, some of us or some of my teammates here have actually filed for home loans, and they're still, they work from home, but they still have that confidence that just because I'm part of Skill Experts, I can still do these things and work from home. And I actually allow them to have additional work. I mean, if, let's say, be- they're a VA in the company or they're part of the managed services team, and they still wanted to do, like, oh, I want to sell cakes on the side, or I want to do, side hustles like that. I allow them, as long as it's not going to interfere within the time that they're going to spend
yeah.
with the client. So those are the things that they look for. And based on the recent, surveys, while they prefer a little raise won't hurt, but the number one reason why they stayed in the company was because of this being able to work from home and still get the same security as if they're working in the corporate world. So I think that was the intrinsic reward that they're looking for.
And I hope again, this is something that you're going to imagine. the beautiful, the perks that we're receiving as working
mhm,
from home. It doesn't mean that when you're working from home it's you yourself and you're alone, you alone.
mhm,
Yes, you're doing the task all by yourself, but the thing is, if you see that there's someone backing you up, who's got your back, that's a wonderful
mhm.
feeling that you would say, definitely this is the
Yeah.
dream job I would love to have, or the dream career I would
Mhm,
love to have. So thank you for that,
mhm.
Miss Pam. Lastly, before we close our discussion, what advice can you give to aspiring and experienced professionals who wants to become a VA, and how can they become successful or become an expert in this field?
They have to be hungry. Hungry for knowledge, hungry for additional skills. For those who wanted to become a VA, first they have to learn what is a VA. Indulge yourself in self learning. Know the ins and outs, and then this is the right time for you to be confident, to be matapang, and then uh, don't just like say yes to everything without knowing exactly
Mm-hmm.
uh, what you're into. Learn to say no when it
I
is the
think
right
this is
time
a
to say
passe
no.
thing. Honesty is the
Yeah.
best policy still.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
passe, but it's a golden rule.
Yeah. You have to be honest. You have to be, you have to be forthright in what you wanted to say. So that's the most important thing. And I think I lost Tiny here. But anyways, for those who are listening, that's what I wanted you guys to um practice. So let's
Certainly.
wait
Thank you so much for
for
Miss Pam. I mean, these are things that VA as a newbie or as a professional individuals or whoever who wants to start a career from home. There's a lot of homework for us to really do. It's not because we're experienced. This is already our ticket to become a VA or to start a career from home. Learn the basics and then grow from there. Scale yourself, scale your skills, and become an
yes,
expert.
yes.
Ganda na segue, di ba?
Pwede ng tagline yan.
So, I mean, really, it is something that I myself, I do not have an idea when I started my career as a VA. I've been an
Mhm.
events manager for so many years of my career. But then again, when I started my career as a VA, I'm at lost. I don't even know how to use Google Sheets because I use Excel. In our office, we only use Google for Gmail. When I realized, what? There's a lot of things that I can do with Google. Oh my goodness. What the
Yes,
Jurassic era I was into. So it was really an eye opener, and now I've learned a lot of things like this one, how to do live streaming through Facebook. These are things that you cannot just do by not doing research or doing your homework. So again, scale up yourself, become an expert, become a VA, and make yourself VA ready. O, diba?
yes.
Galing. May bayad yung patent yun, ah. Joke lang. So, thank you.
So I
No,
hope
I'm just
everyone
kidding.
will
And
be, yeah,
invite
I hope everyone will be attending the VA Ready Expo, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people wanted to know how to become a VA, and with all the the VA agencies attending,
yeah.
those contemporaries are
Lahat na
actually
sila
the
doon,
big ones.
actually.
Yes, yes. And we'll be giving out some freebies for those who wanted to start. So we'll be setting up a
Woohoo!
booth there. So yun, hopefully we'll have a lot of good candidates, and that will inspire
Yeah,
me and my team to find you the clients ever. And eventually I might
definitely.
start with the training, because again, that's the challenge that I have, getting the right people for the job. So maybe if they know exactly what
Yeah.
we wanted them to do and teach them, then dun ko lang madidiscover marami palang pwede gumawa nito. So I might be conducting trainings like that, specific for that particular skill set, and hopefully uh,
Yes.
through there we'll be able to find good VAs, and we'll be able to grow our business, scale our business further. There you go.
Yeah. That's why in the partnership that we have created, everyone who attended the training, I always say this to them. You have the opportunity now to apply to our partner agencies. Then that is something that you can now vouch for because you have a knowledge. If you get hired with these people, then they will also train you because lang nila kayo basta-basta. The training is to really just
Hmm.
guide you of what exactly your task could be, like what Miss Pam is saying, because we really have to create a lot of qualified VAs. Eh. Maraming may skills pero they just don't know that they can do it. I think
Hmm.
that's the part then na medyo we have to really what do you call this the to prep, there's a lot of potential people, they just don't know that they can do this pala. So if you're
Yeah.
going to have your training under skill experts, that will be awesome because I believe maraming mai-inspire na kaya ko namang gawin yun, magli-LinkedIn ako ngayon, alam ko na ang LinkedIn. So start from there. Start
Yeah.
from what you do not know, eventually grow the scale up, and then eventually you will say na, oh, expert na ako because
Yes,
you
that's right.
can do some things that others cannot do. So thank you so much, Miss Pam. Yes, on Feb 29th, we have about 100 attendees. So our
Wow.
registration is already closed because we cannot attend to the number of people anymore. The venue is not really that big. I don't want it naman din ng ganong kalaki. Dahil
Mm-hmm.
it's the first time that we're doing this. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to congratulate ourselves, everybody, not just us, because this is an event for all of us. And we look
That's
forward
right.
to meeting all of the attendees. Yep. On Feb 29th, please be there as early as 8 a.m. because we are starting on time by 9 a.m. We are
That's right.
following American time. We are not following Filipino time. This is
That's
your starting line for your training. Okay. Be prompt. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Pam. We don't have so much of the comments, pero magaganda yung kanilang kinoment here. I will not read it anymore. I'm sure you share this video for those people who wants to understand how to start a career from home.
That's
We have
right.
a channel which is also now live sa YouTube. So thank you, Miss Pam. Again, I would not say anything anymore. Thank you, Scale Experts, for being a part of the Philippine Home-based Virtual Assistants community. Let's create more jobs for qualified and the right potential VAs. Just help yourself, guys. Help yourself out. Make yourself VA ready and become part of it. Scale Experts.
All
Thank
right.
you and have a wonderful weekend. Miss Pam, would you like to say your goodbyes?
Oh, well, thank you very much, everyone who listened, and thank you for my team. They're very supportive. And
Yeah, I can see that.
everyone is like posting. So it's fun to be part of to be part of our industry, and I encourage everyone to if you really wanted to have a work life balance, be a VA. There's so much jobs that you can do. It's just invest in yourself by investing in the skills, and I'm pretty sure you'll be everywhere.
Very well said. Thank you so much and have a
All
wonderful
right.
weekend, guys. Thank you, Scale Experts. Thank you, Miss Pambaluyo. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss Pam. Wait, where are you?